So how to retain more customers? Trainers over the past 5, 10, 15 years have done a great job of getting dealers to acknowledge that they need to have a why buy for me message to their consumers, right? It's fierce out there. Mercedes-Benz, for instance. There's a Mercedes-Benz dealer out in California. They do a great job of messaging what makes them special. They give free rides to the airport and they let you park for free at the airport. Literally a differentiator, the delta of why somebody may buy from them versus another Mercedes dealership. Traditional best practices have also dictated that you should definitely get back to the consumer with the vehicle of interest. If the consumer submitted a request for a Ford Mustang, even if you've got a feeling that they're ultimately not going to buy a Ford Mustang, you've got to win their trust over and get back to them on the information that they're looking for. One other step that traditional best practices have dictated: alternative vehicles. Always give different options, a menu of options, if you will. Well, based off of this information, we're suggesting 2 extra steps. 1, why buy brand? Again, with the competition being so fierce out there as far as brand parity, really the playing field being leveled, it's never been so important to sell your brand. What makes your brand special? For instance, BMW. BMW has a great maintenance program. It's a 4-year, 50,000-mile maintenance program where they'll cover everything from oil changes to brake pads to windshield wipers. Does every consumer that has submitted an internet lead, whether it's new or used, does every consumer know that? It's a great opportunity to keep that consumer in their brand to ultimately buy a BMW versus brand defecting, which we're seeing brand defecting to a Lexus or an Infiniti or an Audi. Another step that we're suggesting dealers take based off of this information is presenting used car options. Some dealers have done a great job of presenting 1 or 2 or 3 used car options, heck, even 5 or 6 or 7 with their new car leads. But if a dealer has 150 vehicles in stock, 150 used, and they give 5 used car options, well, that's great. But Mr. Consumer, here's a link to the other 145 used cars we have in stock. So everything we've been talking about so far is really a 40,000-foot view. Remember RL Polk, we send 4 million leads. They send us back who bought, from whom did they buy, in many cases what they bought. This is a granular level, a granular look. Of the 35 leads we sent to this Ford dealer, 18 purchased. Of those 18 who purchased, 13 bought somewhere else. So the dealer can conclude that they sold 5 Autobytel leads of the 35, but that's not the purpose of the report. The DMS, their CRM will tell them that. The purpose of this report is to spell out of the 13 folks who submitted a new car lead and bought somewhere else, what did they buy and from whom did they buy? So essentially, this report redefines dealers' competition on a monthly basis, right? Same brand sales. This dealer lost to competing Ford dealers. This dealer lost to 2 folks who defected to used. This dealer lost to Hyundai, Kia, Toyota, Chrysler dealers. So rather to look at these Polk reports as report cards, which isn't the intention, they serve as great opportunities for improvement. For instance, if you're losing to same brand, if you're a Ford dealer and you find that your customers are going down the street to a different Ford dealership, it's a great opportunity to sell your dealership. What makes you different? What do you do that these other dealerships aren't doing? If you're losing to different brand, it's a great opportunity to resell your brand. Why buy a BMW? Why buy a Mercedes? Why are they superior than the other imports out there, than the other luxuries out there? If you're losing a lot of your new car leads to used car leads, well, you may have 120, 130 used cars in inventory. It's a great opportunity to showcase your used cars on every single broadcast email and all these emails back to these new car consumers. And ultimately, if the consumers are going to buy a used car, they can buy a used car from you. In conclusion, it's extremely important to follow all 5 of these steps, but your report will show you where to place your emphasis.